Hi, I'm Kenny Anderson, Director of Multicultural Affairs for the City of Huntsville, and welcome to Impact. Each week we bring you information about things that are happening in our community, and we try to make them really exciting things. Sometimes they're things that you may be aware of, and sometimes they're things that you may not be aware of. And each time we come with you, we know that we're going to bring a lot of enthusiasm, passion, and excitement about the vision that we share for this city. And that's a vision that this is going to be a better community for all people. I want to welcome my guest today. First of all, Leon Burnette. What's happening, man?
What's up, buddy?
You doing all right?
Good seeing you again, Kenny.
Good to see you. Nothing wrong with the fist bump. What's happening, Rob?
How you doing, man?
Good to see you guys once again. Always good to have you. You've been on our broadcast before, and you've actually brought the vision of the Media Arts Institute here. And we were real excited to see you working with these young people. We're going to get an update on that today.
Okay.
Rob, this is your first time on the broadcast. Rob Adams is a managing partner with a managing member of Mind Gear Labs, and we're so happy to have him. I've been able to interact with Rob many times in the community on lots of things, and I know both of you guys have some really innovative, out-of-the-box, exciting things happening in this community, so we want everybody to sit down right now and really enjoy what you all have to say. You know, when I'm a child of the 50s, and I'm a boomer. And so I remember Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon and all those guys back then, and we were always looking down the pipeline to the future. And it's amazing because the future is now.
It's now, man.
And you got all these exciting, innovative things that are going on, and you guys are right smack dab in the middle of it. And I'm just really glad to be able to flesh some of those things out with you today. Leon, first of all, I got to talk a little bit about what you're doing in this whole initiative with the Media Arts Institute, because when you came on board before, you were excited, I was excited, lots of people were excited about the fact that you have these young people who are on fire to make something happen with their lives. Give us an update on what's happening with that process.
Well, Huntsville Hollywood, a trip to Los Angeles, California, Pasadena, the Tournament of Roses. Our kids are covering it. They're behind the scenes, creating their own documentary, their own personal stories called Inspiring Stories. And so we have been invited, and we are on our way to take young people who have never been out of Alabama to Hollywood to do what they're passionate about.
Wow.
Making movies, making film, meeting people, getting internship opportunities. So we're really excited about the fact that Huntsville Hollywood is a reality.
Yeah, and you know, Leon, you're an industry pro. You've been out there for a long time, doing lots of things, music and otherwise. And so the young people, of course, benefit greatly from your knowledge and expertise. But that's not enough. You have to then take that next piece. You've got the experience. This next piece is kind of transitioning them and positioning them for this success. And so now you've taken it upon yourself to take everything you've learned, everything you've been exposed to, all your contacts and connections, and actually transfer this into the lives of these young people. Are they pretty excited about this opportunity?
They're excited about it, but the other thing is, Kenny, I'm bringing in some of my friends in the industry, Grammy Award-winning producers, artists, going to TV studios. These artists and people that I've been working with for years are going to come in, host dinners, talk to them, and give them the keys to success from their viewpoint and vantage point. And I'm going to take them to LA, to South Central, and we're going to talk about how I was able to do what I needed to do and how they need to have the same perseverance and determination, because I was pretty determined that music industry was what I wanted to do. Yeah. And so we're going to get into a lot of things, man. Yeah. I'm really excited.
Yeah, well, it's a really exciting thing because you have people that are willing to mentor young people and willing to give back. But you got a lot of kids out there that do say things like, I want to be in the industry. You know, I want to record, I want to produce, I want to write. But they don't know all the ins and outs.
They don't know the ins and outs and how you have to be persistent, you have to be determined, and you got to keep digging, because if you give up, God may not bless you the way he wants to bless you, because the diamonds might be right on the other side of that wall.
Wow.
And so one of the things that we want to tell them is, like, no matter how hard it gets, to keep doing what you love, but get better at what you're doing.
Yeah.
And to be able to take that knowledge from other people.
Yeah.
And put it into yourself and utilize that to be able to get where you want to go.
Yeah, and Rob, it's so easy to give up today. It's always been easy to give up, but especially today because you have so many people looking for the shortcut, looking for the easy way out, looking for the excuse.
Right.
And so when you get involved with young people who you can maybe position so that they see a little glimpse of hope and a little glimpse of opportunity, and then you stand by their side to make that thing possible for them. Sometimes that makes all the difference in the world. Is that a little what you see also in working out there in the community?
Well, we do a lot with kids, and one of the things that we've had in our summer camps and after-school camps is that the kids that are maybe not going to be the jocks, cheerleaders, more on the spectrum, Asperger's, a little nerdy, quirky, and whatnot. And I tell you what, they get in there and they get their hands on the 3D printer or the laser cutter, or they start working with, video production and whatnot, and it just takes off. And they get to create something. And those guys that are not fitting mainstream so much are the ones that really can look outside the box and create something wonderful. Yeah. And I love working with those guys because I know the next Bill Gates is in there. I know the next Steve Jobs is in there, and we're making sure that they get their start.
Yeah, we were talking in the segment that we did just last week about this whole notion of young people who are developing apps. And they're spending lots of their whole life has been on a computer and surrounded by technology and challenged to think about these possibilities. And young people have this advantage that us old heads don't always have, and that's that they haven't had enough experience, so they don't know where the limits are.
They don't know any better.
And so they're out there testing things, running across things, discovering things, they're excited about things, and that's the very thing that we need to be careful to nurture in young people and create an environment for discovery.
Exactly. I would add one thing to that. They lack fear. I'm open for both, the younger kids and the adults. And the kids come in and they're running equipment and building things an hour or two after they come in. The adults always have to go think about their project and I'll get back to you, sort of thing. And I'm telling you, these 10, 11, 12-year-olds, they've got something running on the 3D printer. And if it looks bad, it's okay. That was their first attempt. With an adult, there's this fear of looking bad and this fear of, it's supposed to come out right the first time and all that. Kids are built to experiment and test. And so, they're a lot more fun to work with sometimes.
Stubborn.
Yeah, they're creative, creating video projects and creating short clips and things like that, man. I was like, where'd you even come up with that idea? It's amazing, man.
Which I think speaks to a very important part of our own relationship with them. Those of us who choose to engage with young people, to be a part of their lives, to mentor them, to want to push them to that dream. We need to give them some leverage. We need to give them some room to move around and to explore and have the freedom of that, not always be around them saying, don't do this, don't do that. Boundaries exist in life for sure, but there should be ample opportunities for kids to explore that natural sense of curiosity that's a part of our makeup.
And we've been working with the school system and whatnot, and they're getting that as well. Hey, we've got a lecture less and more of a hear your boundaries, explore the boundaries, and boy, they learn faster that way too.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of that in the school system today too. It's that 21st century type of teaching that really has to keep pace with the young people that we have today. We were speculating, as I was saying earlier, about this app building thing, and we said, 12-year-olds are developing apps and making lots of money from it. And then you got 8-year-olds sitting around saying, that young kid over there doesn't know what he's talking about. There was the 8-year-old saying that, because they're just so full of these ideas, and they really need opportunities to nurture those things. And I think a lot of what you all are doing is giving young people an opportunity to just explore.
Exactly.
We want to get those kids ready so that when they become adults, that they've got the tools, and then when they can actually sit down and spend time and effort on a longer-term project, they're going to create something truly wonderful that everyone in the world is going to use, whether it's a great designer piece of furniture or jewelry or a cool video game or a great movie or something like that. I mean, someplace where technology and creativity mesh, and that's why Leon and I have had such a great partnership so far, because we both love technology and we're creative.
Yeah.
And we love to put those two things
Yeah, put it in
together.
their hands and let them do their thing, you know?
Right.
And this trip to California, man, you talk about exploring. That's the other part of this whole thing is travel is so important for young people to be able to learn, to explore, to see something for the first time. And that's why we plan on doing our Huntsville Hollywood trip every year. We're even looking at taking them to New York during the summer and then also to D.C. to observe the electoral process as it comes up in 216. So trips and educational trips are an important part of the Media Arts Institute, and we plan on continuing this type of activity every year.
Yeah, and I mean, the point that you made cannot be overemphasized, the idea that kids have to get out of their natural environment.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever that natural environment might be, as comfortable and as accommodating as that environment may be, you got to get out and see something different. I can guarantee you that part of the reason, and a big part of the reason, I'm the person I am today, growing up on the Lower East Side of New York in public housing, was because for 5 summers in a row, I was able to get out of New York City and go upstate to Hyde Park, New York, and realize that there was a different way that people lived, that there was a different experience that people had. The idea that when I was 17, I came to Oakwood and decided to go 1,000 miles away from home to go to school, opened up my world. It's important for young people to see something different in their lives.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why I've been doing the same thing with me, Kenny. My parents sent me to Chicago every summer. We went up to Yosemite, various summers and stuff. But just being able to travel and being able to see that maybe I'm not as different as that other person. You know what I'm saying? But I am different, and I can compete. You know what I'm saying? And I know when I go to New York, I feel so much energy, and I want the kids to feel that energy. When I go out to L.A., the creativity, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
And so I want to click on these little buttons in their mind and push them and say, hey, fly, you know?
And speaking of flying, the amazement that some of these young kids will have when they get on that plane for the first time. I mean, it's just one of the most remarkable experiences in life.
And we are capturing that, with our smartphones. That's first part of our documentary. We have a couple of them who've never flown on a plane.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we're documenting you from the time you get out of the car, check in your baggage, go through this. We're going to brief them on the security stuff, but flying, and when they take off, we're going to have a little camera that's going to capture their face. We're going to put them by the window.
Yeah, there you go.
We're going to capture that.
Right.
And so all of that, man.
I'll tell you, I was about that age. My first time on a plane was flying to Annapolis, and I was terrified. I would not want to leave on there with a camera.
Well, we're going to talk about it. So they're already prepped. They're already prepped. And they can't wait. It's like, look, I want to be a producer. I want to do this. I'm going to have to fly. I need to start flying now. That's right. I need to understand what I need to do. Yeah. I need to take off my belt, take off my shoes. You know what I'm saying? How do I deal with it? How do I deal with turbulence?
That's right.
They need to understand and feel comfortable in doing it, and overcome some of these fears, because some of them are a little afraid.
Sure.
But this is another part of them growing up, being able to overcome those fears and see how other people react. So
a lot of these kids are kids who wouldn't have had that opportunity.
No, not at all.
My son has been flying since he was 6. It's second nature to him now. But yeah, I mean, I was 18 when.
I mean, one of my kids is flying, is graduating from Alabama A&M in 2 weeks. Has never been on a plane.
Wow. Wow. So this is a really exciting venture.
Yes,
it's
an adventure, man. It's going to be an adventure. We told them things going to change, so we have so many things lined up for them.
Yeah.
And our shooting schedule, we're actually shooting a documentary every day. I mean, we have production meetings at night. We have schedules in the morning, activities. They got to meet them. There's different assignments. This is a real work.
Yeah.
We want them to experience what it feels like, but also to be able to adapt in any kind of different environment.
That's right. And to see that the finished product that we oftentimes benefit from, whether it's a production of a show, a movie, or what have you, that just didn't happen because somebody came together an hour and a half later, the product was done.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a huge investment over multiple hours and days and weeks perhaps, and lots of filtering things and just, fine-tuning things and just all the stuff that goes in.
Right.
I know they're going to have a great appreciation for what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I have a Emmy Award-winning producer who produced 16 Rose Parade telecasts working with me, and we meet twice a week, on the weekends and during the week, and we give them the information that they need, and we teach them how to research, how to pay attention to details, their environment. But we work with them hard so that they can be able to know their subject matter and be able to execute their craft, what they've learned, you know?
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Now, you've brought some friends here with us today, and I'm real curious about who our friends are. You know, when I was a kid, you're making me channel my youth here, this whole conversation, that Tyrannosaurus Rex there, I recognized. I was a dinosaur guy and a spaceship guy when I was a kid. Just loved them.
Kind of reminds you of Calvin and Hobbes, where you had the dinosaurs in the. That's right. So what I have here are some of the things that we're offering for Santa's Lab. Now, Santa's Lab is something that we started at the Madison Lab back in last year. And the idea is that we're making custom toys for the most disadvantaged kids in the Huntsville area. So if there's a kid out there who doesn't know where his parents are, or is facing a life-threatening illness or something like that, we could go buy him something at Toys R Us. But I mean, we want to give him something that he knows that somebody in the community made for him, that's actually been specially built for him, has his name on it, has something about it that is uniquely his, something that he or she can hold on to when they're going through the rough spots. And so the program is fairly simple. We have volunteers come in and work on designs for different toys, and so you see some of the things that we have here, like our dinosaur guy, and this is an astrolabe. This is an ancient timekeeping device. And then we, for some of the younger kids, we have the car and this garage game, and there's a lot of other things out there as well. We ended up with about 20 some odd designs this year, all done by volunteers. Then we've, of course, approached the organizations that take care of these kids, and we're just now getting back their forms saying which toy that their kids want, and so we have a sheet for each one of them. And then this coming Saturday and next Saturday, the December 6th and the 13th, we will have teams of volunteers coming in, 15 at a time, sitting at the assembly line, wearing elf hats, assembling these toys, getting them, finished up, cut, painted, assembled, boxed, gift wrapped, and we take them out to the folks. And there is a guy that looks remarkably like me, dressed up as Santa, and with the beard and everything. It's getting the white, getting your eyebrows white is the tough part. But it's a great time, Christmas music, and everyone gets to wear an elf hat with their name on it. So they're on they're elf volunteers, and it's great for the community to give something back. It's great for the kids. It's just a way to take care of those of us in the community that are least able to take care of themselves.
Yeah, and I've been one of those people over the years who've had various transformations as far as my relationship to Christmas. As a kid, of course, it was my favorite holiday. Right. Couldn't wait for it to happen. It seemed like it came every 5 years when I was a kid, though. And now it seems like it comes every 5 weeks. But between weddings and baby blessings and graduations and everything else that goes on. But when I was a child, Christmas was a very exciting time, and we didn't have a lot.
Yeah.
But my parents did a lot to make Christmas a special time for us.
Right.
We always got a little something of what we wanted, but we also got a big dose of love.
Right.
And the point I'm making is that Christmas really is about this whole idea of transferring our values and what's really most important to us into the lives of other people. So if we care, this is a great time of year to show that we care, to do things. If it's in giving gifts and toys and other kinds of things, if it's bringing people together for one reason or another, if it's feeding people or clothing people, and making sure that the least of these are cared for in our society, that's really what this season is all about.
Yeah, we are targeting a lot of the children at the Huntsville Housing Authority. Our new facility at Low Mill is right smack dab in the Housing Authority. We want to make sure those young people, those parents know that we're there for them, and also want to help teach their their kids, you know. And so we're working with them, the Village of Promise, the Children's Advocacy Center, making sure that young people.
Manor House.
Manor House.
Manor House, wonderful.
Yeah, the New Hope Center.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
there's a lot of organizations around that we've been able to connect with. Last year we ended up making 70 toys. Our goal this year was 350. We're still looking for more kids. We're actually running out of kids before we run out of toys.
Wow.
So, and what we're doing is this year we're letting people donate. We're targeting $10 of materials per toy. So you're looking at if we do 350 toys, and that's $3,500. But what we're encouraging people is go ahead and donate. What we're going to do is we're going to use that money to teach STEAM classes to these same kids, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics throughout the school year. And so what we're going to do is we're not going to turn off Santa's Lab. We're going to run it year round. We're going to concentrate on the toys around this time of the year, and the rest of the year we're going to concentrate on giving these kids a leg up.
Yeah, Santa's always going to be giving.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, I'll take that rap there.
Big
That'd be-
costume out.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned Lego, and I don't know if it's the aging process that occurs to people, and not suggesting I'm old or anything, but I'm aging. There's no question about it. We all are aging. I've crossed several thresholds, and I'm looking forward to another one here in a few years. A pretty significant one in my life. I mean, it's all relative, but in my life, it's pretty significant. But yet the other day I'm in this store and I saw these Legos, and I wanted to purchase them.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, isn't this an amazing feeling that I'm having at this moment, where I was connecting to my childhood. At the same time, I was thinking about the season that we're in. At the same time, I'm thinking about kids that are less fortunate than me. At the same time that I'm thinking about the energy and the passion of my childhood. It's kind of like, if we could just tap into that on a regular basis and just stay connected to that inner child that's in all of us.
Just love to bottle some of that up when you're feeling down or something. Just cork it off.
Wouldn't it be wonderful?
It would.
I mean, I didn't get them yet, but I mean, I walked out of that store feeling pretty good.
Yeah, Legos is big, man. You think about it, we played with it when we were kids, and now they make movies, and now Rob is teaching Lego robotics where they're fighting each other, and we're going to be making movies with robotics, stop animation with Legos.
Yeah.
I don't think they're
We
going to ever
print
go
our
out.
own Lego
Yeah,
pieces and whatnot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
So, Kenny, the Mind Gear Media Arts Institute that's going to go in Low Mill, I mean, that's the goal there for those people who love to build, love to create, that they don't have to have that stopper bottle of that fun. They just have to come to the lab.
And experience it.
Whether it's a kid
Experience
or
it,
an adult.
Yeah.
We'll have kids programs. We'll be doing the community outreach for those kids who are, starting off with very modest means, like the three of us all did, and then we'll be open in the evenings and weekends for the adults to come in and work on projects.
Yeah.
Too.
Projects, make
And classes.
movies,
Yeah.
take classes. We're going to have our own Alabama Technology TV show in there. We're going to develop a Mind Gear online TV show. So our facility at Low Mill in the new wing is going to be multifaceted with a computer lab. Then you got the 3D printing. You got your laser. So hopefully by the end of the year, we will have said, hey, we've offered so many different classes.
Yeah.
And there's something for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's such a great location.
Low Mill is such a great site, and I'm just
Yeah.
glad to know that
Yeah.
you guys are there.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about how, I mean, it's just really grown and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're going to be able to offer so many cool things
Yeah.
to so many people there.
I know it will. You guys be a great addition to that environment. We got 30 seconds or so maybe, but I want people to know how they can get in touch with you and stay in contact, maybe find out more about what you're doing, or maybe even make some kind of contribution to what you're doing. How would people get in contact with you?
All right, for the Santa's Lab, they can go to the Mind Gear Labs website, or they can go to santaslab.org. And Love Huntsville, which is also at Low Mill, has set that up to take donations and whatnot.
And the Mind Gear website is what?
mindgearlabs.com.
Okay.
And if they're interested in membership or classes or whatnot, the best thing for them to do is to come out anytime they want to.
Yeah.
So
And
the 20th will be our big grand opening.
They can also go to Media Arts World and find out the same thing. We're going to mirror, all of our classes. So if you go to MediaArtsWorld.com, you'll be able to go to Mind Gear Labs, Mind Gear, back and forth. So MediaArtsWorld.com, MindGearLabs.com.
All right, great information, guys. Leon Burnette, Rob Adams, thank you so much. Mind Gear Lab, Media Arts Institute.
Yes.
I think I got that right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And always good to have you guys. Come back sometime. Talk to us. Let us know what's going on.
Let's build a big contraption here and take a movie of it.
Yeah.
Maybe throw something or project something or start a fire. Or
Maybe we
something.
could
How's
do that and have some of those young people working the cameras
Oh,
and
that
stuff
would
while
be
it's going
great.
on. Wouldn't
Yeah,
that be
follow
cool?
me and him around. We're kind of like Laurel and Hardy, man.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks a lot.
All right,
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. We want to thank you for being a part of our broadcast today, and we hope that you'll join us for our next edition of Impact. As always, I'm Kenny Anderson. I hope you have a great day.